Let's talk about narcissistic parents and that teasing thing that they do. What brought this to mind is a comment that was left by a survivor. Let's get into it, shall we? OMG Marnie, I'm curious, did your mother ever will tease you? Like when you were in contact, dangle her will like a carrot on a stick. I've never asked my mother about her will, but she has for more than 20 years been will teasing, like saying how she's sending a copy of the will, telling me how she's got some insurance policy for me, etc. I put a stop to the will teasing last year by telling her it was now a boundary and that there would be no more will teasing and not to dangle it or talk about it. I think that actually took her off guard and she was not expecting that at all. I told her that unless she had actual legal documents to send, I don't want to hear about it. I think no contact is in my future because she hasn't spoken to me in a long time. I know why. I took her toy away. No more will teasing. I don't read messages or mail about her will and told her as much. I didn't personally experience will teasing from my mother. I did experience some things with my grandmother though. When I die, you're going to get this or you're going to get that or, this is going to so and so. And really what she was doing was trying to garner sympathy for the day that she dies. And I was a really little girl when she used to do this, and it really made me sad. I adored her. She hung the moon until I grew up and looked backwards and realized what a horrible and evil person she actually was. But like a lot of kids who are going through narcissistic abuse at the hands of their parents or other abuses, in my case, my grandfather was molesting me. My grandmother looked amazing because she was the lesser of those evils until, well, she wasn't. And when I say that, it's because I recognize now that my grandmother was treating me a particular way to actually show my mother that she could love me and not my mother. But then what she would do is she would say certain things to make it seem like she was elevating me, knowing that my mother would punish me later and that my life would be more difficult because of those behaviors. So she had like all these little things that she did for control to push and pull everybody's mood, right? So if she could create a situation where she made my mother nastier to me, of course I would love her more. All roads lead back to the emotions that she can get from people. She was also the facilitator of my grandfather's molestation. She was the one who made that possible, and yes, she was present with her back turned. So anyway, that being said, my grandmother, who I was terrified of having her die on me, would dangle things in a way, I think, to make me worry about her dying and show her that extra, don't talk about that, Nanny, because I don't want you to ever die kind of stuff. The teasing, though, outside of the wills, was a big part of my childhood. And my mother would do these things where she would say, I had a fat bum, like in a cute almost way. And it became the family joke. And I don't know if the family knew or not. First of all, it was inappropriate. It was not a thing that you tell a little girl at any age and stage. This went on until I ran away from home. So until I was 11 and 12 years old. And that's a time that's really delicate for a little girl, right? You're thinking about your body, you're comparing yourself to others. And then when you have a mother who's pointing out other little girls who are actually underweight and saying, don't you want to look like them? Oh, look at her body. And doing all that comparison, calling me fat behind the scenes, and then doing this little thing about the fat ass or fat bum, as if it's a cute little joke. The whole family is jumping on that bandwagon from time to time and here and there. And behind the scenes, this is one of those things that she uses to torture me. So then what happens? Well, in those behind the scenes moments, like remember when so-and-so, they know you have a fat bum. When really they thought I don't know how, but must have thought, I think they thought, I'm reading minds now, that they were just doing something cute, like, oh, like what you do with babies, the little chubbiness. But I wasn't a baby anymore, and I had full understanding of the fact that I was being called fat, and that my mother was now utilizing those teases, those little jokes, to double down on everybody knows this about you. That wasn't the worst one, though. The worst one, I would say, would be the boy crazy thing. So being boy crazy became a big joke, a tease. Oh, that Marnie, look, she's so boy crazy. Oh, she's just boy crazy. And this was like thrown around all the time. Those were words that my mother attached to me for people to be able to tease me about within the family. And then behind the scenes, everybody knows you're damaged goods. You're only good for one thing, and that you're a tramp. And let's not forget that my grandfather was molesting me and has taught me that that is actually true. And when my mother started to call me a tramp and really escalated on that boy crazy thing, I was being molested by a lifeguard in our building, and she knew it. And she was sending me back to him. And she asked me what I did for the presents that he gave me that I had hidden in the back of a drawer because I didn't want anything to do with them. I actually ended up playing in the parking garage because she would send me down to the pool, and I didn't want to be near him, obviously, for obvious reasons. And when I got caught doing that, she told me she better never find out that I'm not at the pool anymore. So what did I do? I would sit in the hallway leading out to the pool so I could see who was coming, so that if she came, I could jump up real quick and make it seem like I had been in the bathroom, because the bathroom was right there, but I wouldn't go out to the pool. I would spend the whole day there. So getting back to the will teasing, I didn't experience that, but I know it's true that a lot of survivors experience that. And that's one of the things that they use. All this money is going to go to you, this insurance policy. If you don't have that, how are you going to survive in the world? This might be a financial survival that the victim, that the child of the narcissistic abuser, the adult child, is very attached to, because they've been taught that without that they're nothing. And that's part of that conditioning. It's happened for so long they don't realize it. Or it could be one of those things of the survivors well, I'm going to get out with something. That's pretty common as well. So I'd love to have people's input on this one, because I have a feeling this is going to be one of those things that lights on fire. Incidentally, with regard to wills and my mother and finances, so my mother has always been one of those people who married money and who grifted and who was involved in cons. She was arrested in 2014 for a pretty major one involving fake handbags, and actually lost a lawsuit as a result of that arrest. I don't know if there was conviction or anything like that, but she lost a lawsuit. I think there was a plea bargain saying that. Anyway, she lost a lawsuit for well over $500,000 to one of the major fashion houses. So you can only imagine at what level. So she had to pay that back. My point being, my mother will die in debt. And good luck to my brother with that. Her son, actually. I should say good luck to my mother's son with that. Because if anybody's going to be left holding the bag, it will be him. Thank you for the comment, the question. I appreciate you. Keep them coming. I'm really glad that we're all here healing and helping one another. And I wish everybody an amazing day, as amazing as they are, as amazing as you are. Talk soon.